Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For this meeting, we are from Group 6. We will explain about Chomsky Universal Grammar and the birth of Psycholinguistics. And I am Fikrianti. As the first speaker, I will explain about Chomsky Universal Grammar. And before we get into the main discussion, I will discuss a little about who is Chomsky. Jadi, Noam Chomsky adalah seorang profesor linguistik dari Massachusetts Institute of Technology atau disingkat dengan MIT. Noam Chomsky ini lahir pada tanggal 7 Desember 1928. Dia lahir dari seorang ibu bernama Elsie Simonovsky dan ayah bernama Dr. William Z. Chomsky. Noam Chomsky dibesarkan di keluarga berpendidikan tinggi. Tak heran bila ia tumbuh menjadi anak yang cerdas. Chomsky suka sekali membaca. Dia bisa menghabiskan sehari penuh membaca buku-buku yang ia pinjam dari perpustakaan. Dan juga Chomsky mendapatkan gelar sarjana dan master linguistiknya dari University of Pennsylvania. Jadi tuntutan pengajarannya ini berkaitan erat dengan prinsip inovatif tentang perkembangan bahasa anak. Jadi Universal Grammar atau dikenal dengan General Tata Bahasa Universal adalah teori linguistik yang mengendalikan prinsip-prinsip tata bahasa yang mirip dengan semua bahasa teori ini, berupaya menjelaskan penguasaan bahasa secara umum, tidak khusus untuk jadi teori-teori ini. Tata bahasa universal ini juga mengusulkan seperangkat pedoman yang bertujuan menjelaskan pemerolehan bahasa dalam perkembangan anak. So, Universal Grammar or UG holds the grammatical information needed in order to combine categories of language such as verb and noun into phrase. Children have the natural ability to combine nouns and verbs into a correct and meaningful order. Next, there are structures described. The first structure, they are not just taught to them as they would adopt a likable cognitive structure. Second, how they distinguish and announce and their own correct grammar. Next, they think that perfect grammar is innate. Baby potential to speak a number of languages, depending on the country it is born to. Once they are born, they naturally learn to speak and neither chirp or whinge. Next, how can we benefit about Noam Chomsky Universal Grammar Theory? The first, we are aware of children for grammar while in the school. The second, we learn and understand how language is developed from a young age.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hukaima and I will explain the material about the first of psycholinguistics. Psycholinguistics or psychology of language is the study of the intelligence between linguistic factor and psychological aspects. The discipline is mainly concerned with the mechanisms by which language is processed and represented in the mind and brain, that is, the psychological and neurological factors that enable humans to acquire, use, comprehend, and produce language. Psycholinguistics is concerned with the cognitive faculties and processes that are necessary to produce the grammatical constructions of language. It is also concerned with the perception of these constructions by a listener. The second Psycholinguistics CS. Psychology of language is the study of the psychological and neurological factors that enable humans to acquire, use, and understand language. Initial forays into psycholinguistics were largely philosophical ventures, due mainly to a lack of cohesive data and how the human brain functioned. Modern research makes use of biology, neuroscience, cognitive science, and information theory to study how the brain processes language. And the third generation of psycholinguistics CS. Empirical psycholinguistics emerged from four roots: Wilhelm Wundt's Psychology Laboratory in Leipzig, the first of its kind, became the cradle of experimental psycholinguistics. Franz Joseph Gall, also in Vienna, was the first to develop serious brain anatomy during the final 2 decades of the 18th century. How do we speak and how do we understand language? It is widely believed that the sensitive study of these uniquely human abilities was launched during the one.
Well, I think that's all from our material. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.